You hear that? That's that jingle from that commercial 20 years ago, and it's still stuck in your head.
Pour the coffee.
Top of the mustache to you, and welcome to episode 3 of Mustaches and Coffee. Where the topic goes, nobody knows. I'm Isaac.
I'm Ben.
Glad to have all you mustache and coffee lovers with us. So great to see you, Ben. How you feeling today?
Doing okay. Yeah. Enjoying I had a day off today and enjoying that.
Awesome. Awesome. Can't have enough of those too. I think they need to implement in the business world more mental quotation days just to take off. It's almost like you have to have a reason to take a day off these days. So I'm happy for you. You look well rested.
I feel great.
Good. Good. Well, let's catch up a little bit. Great to hear you're feeling good, but is anything going on? What's brewing in your life?
Not much. Turns out my cat actually has to have his 8 teeth removed this Monday.
Oh,
Last
got
episode I
delayed.
said it was actually I got the days off. So it's actually this coming Monday.
Oh,
Stay tuned to how he turns out on the following episode.
okay. Well, tell him I'm pulling for him because my heart did go out to him when you said that. It was unfortunate that I was laughing about it, but it was a fun moment. So
If you're pulling for him, maybe that would save us some money. We'll just have you do it.
I do have some pliers in my garage if you want. Just come on over. Yeah.
That would work.
Uh, that wouldn't be very humane though, but we'll
Probably not.
so, as far as for me, I'm actually not much going on. I've just been busy, kind of a carryover from last week, and just staying busy, but in a good way. I'm excited for the month of February. Here we are. We're almost through winter time. I can't wait for these warmer days and longer days because when it gets dark out at like 5 o'clock, it just makes it more depressing. So I'm looking forward to that. So not too much excitement going on, but we have a pretty exciting topic that we're going to go ahead and jump into. It's our main topic. So you're probably walking down the street, you're probably minding your own business, and all of a sudden, that jingle just pops into your head. Now you find yourself humming that jingle for the rest of the day. Businesses have sunk millions of dollars into these jingles. They know what they're doing. They want to get these stuck in your head so you go and buy their product. Well, today we're going to talk about some of these jingles that in our brain, our little small brains, I guess you could say, it's stuck in there. It's taking up some value real estate. So let's get this kicked off and start with you, Ben. What's a jingle that's still stuck in your head today?
So this jingle, it's every day I go to work. It's on the radio. I'm like, no, denied. I say it out loud. I'm like, yeah, hit it. So it's for the cereal called Granberry. It's
Yeah.
like Granberry, Granberry, healthy cereal for your family. It's like this girl playing it on guitar or something. And I've heard it probably for the last like 10 years, like every day. I'm like, no, stop. I can't get it out of my head.
That's definitely that jingle that you see those like movies. Someone's asleep and they're having a nightmare and they're tossing and turning. No, no, Grainberry, Grainberry, healthy cereal for your family. No, no. That's a good one. That's definitely one that's stuck in my head. I would say as well. It's up there. So I have one that's a classic. I remember this actually being stuck in my head when I was like 4 or 5 years old. Uh, it's one of those core memories that just comes and goes. You have these kind of fuzzy memories. I remember being in a grocery store and I saw it and the jingle hit my brain. So I tell you how these jingles work, but it was give me a break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar. Yeah, that's the
Mhm.
more well-known jingle, I think, but I think it's a classic. It's one that is still stuck in my head to this day.
Do you remember that Office episode where Andy couldn't figure out the end of it? He's like, "Give me a piece of that football cream," or he's like, "I just can't figure it out. It's real close." But yeah, I
He
just think
said
of
like
that
a
episode.
it's like a dog food. He's like, break me off a piece of that." It was like a dog food. I can't remember either. It was like puppy chow or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a show that everybody's binge, but I probably need to go back and watch more of. So yeah, but that's one that's caught. How about another one, Ben?
So this one's so annoying. Uh 1-800 cars for kids. It's like those kids playing it and they're like playing fake instruments. I know there's a YouTube guy, Stevie T, did like a whole breakdown of that episode and how nobody's just how stupid and annoying that commercial is. But for
Yeah,
a good cause, if they're helping, kids that, we're not bashing that, but just the
yeah,
jingle, it's just yeah. Another one I heard on the radio for years and years and years.
yeah. That one's not gonna go away anytime soon either. I still hear it today, but I remember hearing it years ago. Yeah, that's another one. I do have a good jingle that I still find epic to this day. It was back in the '90s, and it worked because as a kid, I wanted to buy one, but it was "Crossfire, you'll get caught up in the crossfire." Huh. That's what I always enjoy, the huh.
The best game ever.
Just a bunch of marbles, like, put into a funnel, like, little shooter thing, if you wanna call it that, but the commercial was epic. The best part is when it builds to the end because it's like, "Crossfire, crossfire, crossfire," and the kid's, like, pumping his fist going, "Yeah, yeah," that's what I remember. I can't remember playing it honestly that much. It's just that jingle. I'll be minding my own business at work or something. I'll just go, "Crossfire." Like, "Hey, how you doing, Tim?" "Huh."
Nice.
But that's
Yeah.
still stuck in my head.
Yeah, so another one I have, I actually like so it started as a YouTube skit. You probably know where I'm going with this. But they actually have a bunch of toys and stuff now. So it's actually a song, but I'm gonna consider it advertising because they're selling products now. Baby shark do 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 baby shark. And it's like everywhere. Like I went to a baseball game like last summer and that they were playing it at the stadium and
Mm.
everybody's doing it and it's just like please, please stop already.
Behind every happy child singing that song, you see a parent gritting their teeth singing it
Well,
and
even
just
like
going,
their toys they have, you squeeze like a it's like a shark, you squeeze it and it sings that song.
"Oh, yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I if I had a kid, I would bury that in the backyard.
I give it to my dog, of course,
Ah,
it would
baby.
that's what I would use it for, but that's a song that keeps the kiddos calm from having a meltdown, so it gets played to no end. Yes, I'm with you there on it just being annoying. I accept that one because, like you said, it's for a toy, and there's actually books. I don't know if you've seen that as well.
Yeah.
So you have to read it in that tone because
And
yes.
I looked at it recently, and it's the most viewed video ever on YouTube. It's, like, surpassed 1,000,000,000.
It'll just keep growing too because 'cause they'll
Yeah,
just play it on repeat.
it's all the
Kids will
kids.
watch it. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, yeah, my kids are the same way, so it makes total sense. They really did cash in on that for sure. So, well, this is a quick and short one, but I think it's iconic. It is Ricola, and
That
that's a kind of a good jingle because I've gone on trips before and you're like in a over a cliff. I've yelled it, Ricola. So that
that is
one's
kind of ironic because I had to cough and I muted my microphone right as you said that, so what's
Fitting.
the odds?
Yeah.
That's probably what I need.
Yeah. There's not much else to say about it, just Ricola. Say it anywhere. It's kinda like here in Ohio, if you're a Buckeye fan, you yell OH and people say IO. So that's universal. You could go anywhere in the world and go Ricola, and somebody in the distance go Ricola right
So,
back to you.
I wonder if that's outlawed in Switzerland. Like, can you imagine every tourist going to Switzerland yelling that down a mountain?
I don't know. That's a good question. A good topic for another day, I would say.
Yes.
That's a good question. So, how about another one, Ben?
So, this one, I remember as a kid, I haven't seen it in a long time, for summers and summers and summers, every time, "If you need a structured settlement called, or you need cash now, call J.G. Wentworth." And it's like this commercial was like 2 minutes long. It's like all these guys wearing like Viking gear. And I think the best one was like they're like on a bus and like you can tell all like the people in the commercial, if you look at their faces, are getting like annoyed by it. But
I
yeah,
faintly
yeah, it's
yeah,
just annoying.
I faintly remember that one, but thankfully I can't see it stuck in my head, but, that's not to say for a lot of jingles. A lot of jingles usually get stuck in your head. I was fortunate that one hasn't been stuck in my head because it is catchy, but I guess that's one that hasn't been catchy enough for me, so well, I got one it's gonna involve both of us. Are you ready?
Yep.
Red Robin,
Yum.
and that's it. That's all it is. Like, same idea. Just like I was saying about Ricola, if you say that anywhere, someone will probably give you a yum. So,
I think there's a copyright thing going on there because it's also Green Giant.
does he
Green
say yum?
Giant. Yum. It's like
Does
the
he s
base or
Yeah,
or or I don't know. It's something similar.
I wouldn't be surprised because it's a, copycat industry, but
Yeah.
I can't remember if Green Giant says yum. I wish I would've looked that up. That's a good point, though. Yeah. So,
So
yeah.
another one I have, it's it came out, I don't know exactly when it came out, but it's Zoo Pals plates. I don't know if you remember those.
I don't think so.
So it's this plate that has like a picture of a different animal. So it's like quack quack zoo pals, oink oink zoo pals, hoot hoot zoo pals. It's like they're doing all the animals, and that's the entire commercial for like 30 seconds.
Why am I not remembering that? You have some pretty, uh maybe they didn't air as much or I just somehow escaped it. It's like, I'm
I'll have to
not
send it to
recalling
you.
it. Okay,
It
I'm not
it's
recalling it.
it's so annoying. When you see the plate, you'll be like, "Oh yeah, that's it." It's
Yeah,
kind of like round, and then they have ears, and you can like put the kids can put like carrots and whatever at the top. Very
okay.
annoying.
It sounds annoying. I'm glad I haven't heard it. That I'm very happy that's not stuck in my head. It's like certain songs, like, it made me think of that pop song, it was like 10 years ago, "I Just Met You, and This Is Crazy, so here's my number, call me maybe."
Oh,
I
yes.
somehow avoided that song for years, and it was like somebody that went through, like, the most traumatic event of their life because it would play like a snippet and everybody would be like, "Oh, not this song," and I'd be like, "What are you talking about?" And they'd have this look in their face of horror of just like, "For many years, I've had to endure this song," and I don't know how. I mean, it was everywhere. I remember people talking about it. So, that commercial you just mentioned, I don't know, maybe same idea. I somehow was able to avoid it. I'm happy I did though. That sounds very, very annoying. So, well, I got, one that's another, I would say, notorious. If you say it, people will recognize it. I'm gonna need your help on it. So here we go. When you gonna pick
Hot
Hot
Pocket.
Pocket?
I
There it
think I
is.
was delayed there.
I think we did all right. That was considering. Yeah, that's one. I watched cartoons and any station that would constantly be on. That was the opposite. I couldn't get away from Hot Pockets. That was always, and it's still to this day in my head. Yes, definitely one of those annoying ones.
Hot pocket. I still every time I go to work and I'm putting something in the microwave, there's like people that eat hot pockets constantly, so I'm just going hot pocket. They all look at me funny, like what's wrong with you? Like you
You
have
have
to.
to. You have to, and it's like Jim Gaffigan said, there's a whole bit on it. If you've never seen it, you have to look it up, but I think most people have seen it. They came out with the breakfast Hot Pocket finally. So I gotta have Hot Pockets for breakfast, Hot Pockets for lunch, and be dead by dinner.
Hot pocket,
That's
hot pocket.
Did I just eat that or smear it all over my face?
Or
My
he's like,
back hurts.
put it on the little sleeve. The directions are put the sleeve on and dunk it right in the toilet.
Yeah. Yeah, anyway, we won't reenact more of that, but just if you've
I
never
love that.
seen Chip, it's
Yeah, you
perfect.
have
He
to.
he hits it right on the head on Hot Pockets, so
So another one I have, it's especially with the Kansas City Chiefs and Mahomes, you see this a lot constantly, and it's just starting to get very annoying, is all the State Farm jingles.
yeah. Yep.
And it's just, yeah, I can't, yeah, I wrote it down, but I kind of forget actually how the jingle goes because I'm just focused on Patrick Mahomes and how much I'm like, "Grr."
They have Jimmy Fallon on the commercials now, I've noticed too.
Yeah.
So
You
he'll
need,
they're pulling all the stops out, they're getting different celebrities to do that jingle. It's it's everywhere. But I do talking about insurance, I think I much prefer, "We are farmers, ba ba da ba ba ba
bum,
ba."
bum, bum. Yep.
Simple, short and sweet, but, I think I was, like, folding laundry one day and I just randomly did them. "We are farmers, ba ba da ba 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 ba." I don't have any desire to get farmers insurance, but I sure am gonna have the jingle stuck in my head, I guess. That's just how it goes.
Yeah. Well, I have to keep on the topic of insurance. The Limu, Emu, and Doug. Limu, Emu, and Doug. They're really funny. So kind of since we're going over insurance, I don't know if you've ever seen the SNL skit with about State Farm. Just to back up for a minute.
I've seen maybe parts of it. I can't
So
recall. You'll have to remind me.
so do you remember like in the State Farm commercials, whenever they's like, oh, it's Jake from State Farm, he keeps like showing up, like, oh, something's happening. Jake from State Farm, and he appears. Well,
Mm,
like, in the skit, it's, Jake is played by Michael B. Jordan, and
okay.
the actor. So he, like, won't leave their house. Like, "Jake, what are you still doing here?" And like, "Oh, I'm helping out, I'm doing this." And then, like, his wife ends up, like, leaving him for Jake from State Farm, and he's like, it's like raining outside and he's walking down a bridge. He's like a good neighbor, State Farm is there and here, and you stole my wife. And he's like going on, and then all of a sudden Limu, Emu, and Doug show up. They're like, we're here to save you. Anyways, for any of our listeners who haven't seen it, you have to watch it. It's really funny.
Yeah, SNL does a good job of, commercials. They've done so many fake commercials, but they also spoof commercials. That makes me think of, when Jim Carrey hosted and he spoofed Matthew McConaughey's, Lexus commercials. That's not a jingle. I know that's getting a little off topic, but it reminded me because I'll do that sometimes where I kinda do this with my finger and Jim Carrey's doing that because he's just like, "What is life anyway? Why are we here? Where are we going?" He's just talking, but he's doing this little gesture with his finger, and he's just like, "So many questions in life. Like, should I keep rolling this booger in my
Yeah.
finger or flick it away right now?" It's just like, I don't know why I've caught myself doing that. I'm just like, with my finger, I'll be like, "Should I keep rolling this booger or flick it away right now?" If somebody was watching me, they probably thought I was insane and need to go to institute, I guess, but
Well, I mean, we all have to check in every now and then.
well, I got, one that is also pretty catchy like all of these, but this one, I think I've talked to a few people and they're like, "Oh, yeah, that's still stuck in." Stanley Steamer means carpet cleaner.
Oh, we harmonized. Good.
But that's one, I don't think you can get away from either. Still to this day, you'll catch a little glimpse of it from time to time. just randomly channel surfing.
Yep. One I yeah, that's another one that gets stuck in your head real easy. Uh, I haven't heard this one in a while, but, "Give me back that filet fish. Give me that fish. Woo." The McDonald's filet fish commercial.
Why am I not man, you have a memory on these.
Because they're ingrained in my brain. I can't.
Must have been a time you were listening to the radio a lot more or the TV. Why am I not remembering that one?
And then, like,
Wow.
there's one version of that, they, like, break it down, and it's like there's a rapper in it. It's like, "Give me that fillet of fish. It's like he's like just keeps going.
The only McDonald's I remember a few things like, it was like, "Did somebody say McDonald's?" That was '90s, and then they've kept it ever since Justin Timberlake, the ba da ba ba ba, I'm loving it, that's
Oh, yeah.
still to this day, it's, if it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of jingle,
Mhm.
but I don't remember Filet-O-Fish for some reason. That's
Yeah, it's
something
another
I'll
one
have
I'm
to
gonna have to
YouTube.
s yeah,
Yeah,
it's catchy, like, that's the only one I actually don't mind out of everything on my list. I mean, it's not hateful, but it's like, it's kinda fun.
okay. Interesting, for sure. Because I thought I remembered a lot of, fast food. Because at least in the '90s, for sure, there was tons and tons of fast food commercials, but that one I'll have to look up. Yeah, check that one out. And then this one is another one, still played to this day, but, years and years, and this tells you how catchy it is. One of my sons sings this or does the jingle, and he annoys his siblings in the process, but it is, "Oh, oh, oh, O'Reilly Auto Parts."
Ow! Yeah, I
There it
remember
is.
that.
And that's what he does it word for word. He'll do the, "Oh," and the siblings will be like, "Will you stop it?" So that tells you it's a very catchy jingle that it's even catching on with the younger ones, which I spoke about Kit Kat earlier, but O'Reilly's, I think, up there in that realm for sure.
Yeah, and if I need auto parts, I know who to go to now.
Yeah,
Just
and then you've
think of
got
those jingles, yeah.
"Get in the zone, auto zone," to throw in another auto part. Those are 2 2 that I
Yeah.
can think of, yeah.
Yeah, what about Meow Mix?
Yeah, that one is, how when did that come out? Didn't that come out, like,
Gosh, probably 90s, I wanna say.
I
Maybe
wanna say
early
it was
2000s?
it was much earlier than that because I was gonna say, like, '70s.
Oh,
That's
maybe so.
because it came out, and I thought it's been done so many times, different versions, but the original, I wanna say it's just one of those timeless, if you wanna call it that, but it's an annoying jingle, yes, of just meow, 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 all over and over again,
Yeah,
meow
meow,
mix.
meow, 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 meow. If I believe it's the same one, I could be wrong. So, they now have the one of the members of NSYNC in it, in the commercial.
Okay.
I think that JT guy, I think his name's JT. He had, like, the black hair, but, like, he's singing it, and he's, like, dancing to it now.
That's just so
My wife
bizarre.
saw it, and she's like, "Oh, so he went from a multi-million dollar band boy to singing in a Meow Mix commercial now."
You could tell also with these boy bands and whatever, your pop sensations, they're starting to run out of money because all these reunion tours are starting to happen. You notice that? That's when okay, they've spent all their millions. They need to kind of rebound, get back to the basics. So, uh, NSYNC's definitely in there outside of Justin Timberlake since he's gone on and done other things and been successful, but that's I think that's kinda sad to think about that, you're in a boy band and now you're in a Meow Mix commercial and encouraging and going on with the annoying jingles. So, yeah, that's only fitting. Well, I've got a few more if you want, maybe touch on a couple because
Sure, go for it.
this one is another one when it comes to these jingles, I could just be sitting and reading or watching TV even, doing something, and it'll still this one is another one when I was a kid, and it was skip it, the toy,
Oh, yeah.
and I'm trying to remember the lyrics on it, but, um, The one thing I remember was the very best thing of all. There's a counter on this ball, so
Yeah,
try to beat your very best score. See if you can count a whole lot more. Skip it, skip it. That's what I've
you're gonna break your leg.
yeah, yeah. So many toys like that, looking back, like, those probably weren't the best of ideas, like the moon bouncer shoes.
Mhm.
That was another one. I think they actually got sued because people were getting injured, but
Oh,
that's
absolutely.
yeah. So how about another one?
So another one I have is is Folgers,
Yeah.
and, since we're mustaches and coffee, it's, kind of your
Eh,
average cheap coffee. It can be pretty good if you make it nice, but, uh,
but the thing is, the best part of waking up is
it's
Folgers
Folgers
in
in your
cup.
cup.
There you go.
Yep.
But that's the thing. It doesn't matter if it's bad, right? As long as you have that annoying jingle.
Yeah, I just remember, Wayne Brady from Whose Line Is It Anyways doing that for a while, the jingle.
Oh, that's right, he did. I faintly remember that now. Yeah,
Very
yeah.
lovely singing voice. Or I should do it like Bane, or you can do it like Bane.
Lovely singing voice. Very
Yeah,
lovely.
there you go.
Let the games begin. Yeah, that's a good one too, Folgers. I think that's I think even if you don't have Folgers in your cup, sometimes you're like, the best part of waking up is insert your coffee brand in your cup.
Yes,
You still use the jingle, but you can kind of tailor it to what you want there. So,
absolutely.
well, going on to like a song, because I think Folgers, if they wanted to expand on it, they could totally make it into its own thing. But I have Mentos. You can't leave it off the list without Mentos. So I'm gonna do the actual jingle. It's almost like a song. It doesn't matter what comes, fresh goes better in life. With Mentos fresh and full of life. Nothing gets to you, feeling fresh, staying cool. With Mentos fresh and full of life. Fresh goes better, Mentos freshman. Fresh goes better with Mentos fresh and full of life. Mentos, the fresh maker.
Oh, very nice. I think we just lost all our listeners.
I apologize for the sing I'm not a singer, but, I
We
will still sing.
apologize to everybody in every state listening. If you
I
want
still
a refund on your money, just send us a message at mustachesandcoffee@yahoo.com. We'll give
I
you
do
your money back.
apologize. I do apologize. I'm not a singer, but I still sing it to myself. So that's one that will forever be with me. So how about one more then, Ben?
All right, so I actually had this not long ago. Fanta or Fanta,
Yeah,
however people pronounce it. Fanta, Fanta, Fanta. It just keeps going on.
that's what you could try is to go back and forth saying it either Fanta or Font. Yeah, I
I
can't even
think
say it right.
I think my tongue might have a hernia if I do that.
Yeah. So, well, I have a bunch more, but I'm just gonna do one more,
Sure.
kind of finish things up. This was back in the 90s though, because they've changed like a lot of companies. But it was Pepsi, Ray Charles. You got the right one, baby. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah. That will just pop in my head randomly at times. I'll just be like, you know, like driving down the street, I'm like turning left, like, oh, you got the right one, baby. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. And it's long forgotten. It was something that was back in the 90s. I think it was in a movie called Rookie of the Year, where he got so big that he's actually in a commercial and he's in that Pepsi commercial and sings it. So
I don't remember that commercial actually.
okay, there's something for you to look up. I have my homework to do for
Yeah, me too.
jingles you looked up, that's your homework assignment. So, well, great. I think we got a host of jingles that is now going to be stuck in not only our heads, but listeners' heads for many days, if not longer. So, let's go ahead and wrap things up, go into our last segment.
Last drop.
Brought to you by coffee.
Take it away, Ben.
Have you ever wondered where artificial raspberry, vanilla, or strawberry flavor comes from? Animal urine. These animals secrete something called castrium and it's extruded by the castor sacs of the mature North American beaver. The FDA generally considers these as safe as they are simply called natural flavoring. So, just remember, if you run out of vanilla, raspberry, or strawberry flavoring for your cake and don't feel like going to the store, beaver urine will do just as well.
Well, that's a different a way of looking at things, I have to admit. So thank you for that, Ben. Very informative and educational
You're
for
very
us to
welcome.
remember. So, well, this has been a very jam-packed episode. I've had a good time with it, but before we wrap up, why don't we go ahead and make sure we do our due diligence? Ben, why don't you tell everyone where everybody can find us at?
So we're on Instagram, Facebook, search Mustaches and Coffee. And our Twitter account is Stash and Joe. It's spelled STASHE and Joe. And if you have any questions or comments or episodes we want to cover, you can email us on mustachesandcoffee@yahoo.com or message us on our social platforms.
Great. Yes, be sure to email us any questions you have because as things grow, we might expand into things. I know Ben is chomping at the bit. He loves to give away prizes. So we'd love to give away like stickers, possibly some t-shirts, merchandise, and we might set up something where it's, maybe the best question that we like. Something it doesn't have to be on topic, but also if, for example, today's was about commercial jingles. If there's some that we missed that are stuck in your head, be sure to email us. Let us know. We'll read it on the next episode. Be sure to give you a shout out in that way. And if you've got us on Spotify or any other podcast platform, please give us a 5-star rating. That way, more people will find us and we can expand. We can get to that point where we can give back to you guys because we really do appreciate each one of you. We want to see how much we can grow this thing. So, again, thank you for listening. That's going to do it for this episode. But as we always say, don't bash the stash.
I need espresso for the depresso.
So long, everybody.